Okay, see, for me, that would be loose. But since we're not hot, and the other thing we didn't do is we got to start this thing up before we... Typically when I do this show, we'll have a car that's way out of adjustment, and once we take the valve cover off, we'll start it up and everybody will listen to all the clatter. And then we do the adjustment and start it up afterwards.
Should have done mine then.
Mine.
You could probably have to wear earplugs.
See, that's probably okay. To me, that's a little bit loose, but we're not real hot. So I really don't want to mess with this one because we're not good and hot.
Would it be okay to feel that, what that feels like?
Yeah, everybody. Anybody wants to feel that. I like to have just a little bit more drag on it than that. You think it's hot enough to go ahead and adjust it?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to see you torque the head.
Off for some ice.
It can.
Why can't
It's pretty loose.
It's hot. It has to be cold.
Well, let it cool. I want to see you retorque it without touching those valves.
You ever use like a bigger one as like
What
a
a pain in the ass
go-no
trying to retorque it.
No, usually I'll use
go by the feel.
the one. See how sloppy that is. I like to feel just a little bit of drag on it.
Retorque the head.
Yep.
How many? You know, you were supposed to take it into the dealer and have the head retorque. How many dealers do you think would do that?
An English dealership, they might do it.
You think they're going to retorque it?
An American one would check the sheet. They're not doing it.
Do you think the Tiger people, the people that sold me my Tiger went in and retorqued those heads?
No.
No. You're damn right.
Depends on the best thing you can do is stand at the end of the service bay and watch it.
They won't do it. You know damn well they won't. It's a real stain. And it's a real stain.
The big thing is to keep that screwdriver straight too then, eh? And when you're tightening up, you don't want it to
Right, you don't want it
to move too, right?
Right. Am I moving it?
No, I just said I mentioned it for the video.
For the video.
For the video.
No, I've never blown a head gasket. I've never had my Tiger engine out. It's got its original clutch still.
I know some of the old American V8s had a steel shim head gasket. Those were the original no torque.
I have no idea. It's got its original engine.
I'm way out of practice, guys.
Huh? It's got about maybe
There's a lot of cars here.
Well, hold it.
Yeah, we can give you some work. Give you back to your form then by the end of the day.
You could train a team and we could adjust every valve into place.
And then
We've done that in the past.
That's a good idea.
undercover.
Yeah.
It's never spent a day out.
Okay. Anybody want to feel after? Is that tighter than you do?
That feels just right.
That's how I like it.
Just where you feel the drag.
I don't use either one because I can never get them to stop leaking. If I've got a fresh motor like this that I know I'm going to be working on retorquing the head and all the, because I've retorqued the head 3 times in 1,500 miles because I don't want to blow a head gasket. So in that situation, and you don't have to do all that valve adjusting, I'll use a core paper, either one with nothing on it. So we can take it back apart and just use carburetor cleaner or something and get the oil off of it so you can keep oil loss to a minimum. Once I'm done and I've got my final adjustment, I clean the surface of the head and the surface of the valve cover really well, and then I'll take black Permatex only and put a small bead of black Permatex on it, put it on there, bolt it down, and leave it alone, and it won't leak. And then if you get to the point where you have to pull that back off and do another valve adjust, usually you just tap it with a rubber mallet and it'll break the seal and you can go. And I do the same thing with these side cover gaskets because they all leak. There's very few gaskets I really use. I use the oil pan rail gaskets and the corks on the end and the front cover gaskets, but I use black Permatex on both sides of all of it.
You're talking about the RTV rubber black, yeah.
For valve cover?
Thank you.
Because he's going and I'm going to get him to get something right now. What if he can't get
I think
black?
you've got another head torquing to be done.
No, Ian did it.
You've only had two. You're going to want. You've had the original one. You've had one more, and you need one more.
How far down the road? 900 miles.
400 or 500 miles, something like that.
Okay.
Before 1500, I like to have 3 head torques.
Now, someone had discussed with me about putting the Permatex on the gasket before it goes down, and then putting grease around the head.
I don't see how that can possibly work, because anytime you get oil under a gasket, it starts weeping and you can't stop it.
Okay.
It won't stop. That's why these cork gaskets, once they're contaminated,
yeah.
I mean, you could try and clean them, and sometimes they'll hold.
The old Volkswagen way was to glue the gasket into their rocker cover, which was sheet steel, with Permatex weather strip adhesive, and then pop it on. That way you could take it off, it'd stay with the cover. But that'd just be useful for when you're doing those several retorques, several readjustments.
Right. But the only way I've ever got one to nearly seal up is pretty much pitch the side cover gasket and the valve cover gasket and just Permatex them on there, glue them on.
All right, well, since we're going to end up retorquing again, what do you recommend we do?
I recommend you leave it alone.
Well, right now, just use that, because right now we have glued a used paper one on.
It'll be all right.
Just
Yeah,
down
it don't
on
hurt
it.
nothing.
All right, fine.
It's going to leak anyway.
I'm pretty sure it will.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Don't worry about it.
Came with my series too.
Don't
All
worry
right.
about it. Jim
I was
says
just trying to remember, you had a
we got one
custom
more
ground
head
cam
retorque
shop.
to do on
So-
You have the
so
specs on
don't
it
worry
somewhere.
about it.
Next up says 2 inlet with 3 inlets fully open.
One of
So this one fully depressed.
You gotta go forward.
Oh, back. I think we were already there. That's good.
It's like a big camshaft.
That one feels pretty good. Anyone want to feel it?
And then the last time you did, you didn't have three doors, so we ground you them off.
What was it? This one? That one.
It was, what was it they called it? Polydyne formula. So yours actually follows the cam better at high speed than the original.
Okay.
So how close do you have to be with the one that's fully open to be? Like, is there a range or is it really finicky?
You know, on a stock cam, it's not near as finicky it is on these reground cams, because you'll go from fully open to ramp on them must be something. Because when you watch them, like watch this one here, we're right now at fully open, and it starts moving right away. But when you get on the heel, you've got a little bit of space where it's going to come up and stop, and then start back down. So once you come up and stop, you should be. I mean, we're not talking Formula One motors. Three exhaust with 2 exhausts open. I think that's it.
Well, let's get back on the audience here.
That one's a little bit tight, in my opinion. Someone wants to feel it. There's a little bit more drag on that than I.
A lot more. Yeah. I concur, Doctor.
You concur?
Are those tighter than they need to be, Jim?
Well, that one's pretty tight.
It's a hard way to go.
How you doing?
Okay.